Well, what a first semi-final we had. If this can emulate that, then it's going to be something special, and no reason why it shouldn't be good. Michael van Gerwen averaging over 106 earlier on, and this fella over 105 in his quarter-final match, beating Terry Jenkins. There he is, Adrian Lewis, now 30 years old, twice the world champion, of course, in 2011 and 2012, and throwing well here this week. Michael van Gerwen, 26 years old, seeded 3, world #1 though, and currently the holder of 5 televised titles, and he'll be burning with ambition to regain the World Championship when that begins at the end of the year. So then, Alan, what do you reckon? Lewis or van Gerwen? Van Gerwen clearly the favourite, but the big fella's throwing well.
Well, Adrian Lewis has played great in this tournament, but he's been playing better in the last 2 or 3 or even 4 months. In all the TV events we have towards the end of the year, he really has come up to the mark, and that last one in that quarter-final really showed how well he is playing. Michael van Gerwen had a different test, didn't he, against Raymond van Barneveld, his nemesis in the early days. But what a fantastic game it was, because it was different, because he was behind all the way and then all of a sudden had that spurt and got over the line.
Barney had a great game, didn't he? And it was as well, I think, as Raymond's thrown for a while. He really did produce a great performance, pushing Michael all the way. I'm sure he won't see it that way, but he played really well. Van Gerwen had to be pretty much close to his best, and he's got to start well here and put this throw of Lewis under pressure from the outset, and he appears to be doing it.
Yeah, very early. Oh, good thinking from Lewis there.
174.
And the percentage is from the 18s with the second one. If it was a single, he still had a chance to leave a finish.
93.
Well, Lewis 134. He was both on 134. He was finishing well earlier on, and that's a great first start.
Well, you can't blame him for staying there, because it was a good lie on the treble 20. Michael van Gerwen may even do the same thing.
Just outside the treble.
Not to happen.
So Lewis will get another go.
96
for the first leg.
Well, it's important, isn't it, to hold your throw, as we've seen, certainly in Peter Wright's case, when he was just in front of Phil Taylor. Well, one dart left, Adrian.
35, thank you.
Didn't need that, did he? Van Gerwen 38. Will he go straight at it? He will. And an early break for Michael van Gerwen.
Well, it's not a good sign when you give a leg away. But when you give a leg away against this guy, it's very hard to chase when he starts hitting everything. Adrian Lewis can obviously do that, but you don't want to be giving your opponent a present like that very early in the match.
He can sometimes start slowly, can't he, van Gerwen?
140.
And I think he was very, very conscious of the fact, I think that they assumed that Phil Taylor was going to get to the final, the camp, and they were very conscious of the fact that if they get past Adrian Lewis, they had to make a fast start, and that was going to be one of the key factors, and he started well.
First to 11.
100.
So still plenty of time to go. But at some points in that match, in that semi-final,
134.
Peter Wright, he just never gave Phil Taylor that opportunity to break when he got in front. You feel that could happen in this match, 60. Depending on which player can get a 2 or 3 leg split. If it happens that way, it may not.
133 for van Gerwen to go 2 up. Can't do it now, but he's got time on his side.
59.
Played in all 11 World Series events in the run-up to this. Van Gerwen winning 3 in Dubai and the Singapore Masters.
100.
Dubai, the very first one a few years ago. It's developing year by year.
Tops for van Gerwen to go 2-0. Nice start. Seems to have carried on where he left off against Raymond van Barneveld.
Yeah, good start. It's been a good start from both players, really. But just that slip in the first leg from Adrian. 3 clear darts at the double.
First maximum for van Gerwen. First of a few, you would suspect.
Well, we kind of always expect it, really, don't we? For maximums from these top players nowadays. 20 between them in the tournament so far.
121.
Loose first dart. Look at the next two. A.D. Lewis, that beautiful throwing action, so smooth.
Yeah, when he finds it, he's as good as anybody, as we've seen. Well, there's two. Well, there's his second maximum. Putting pressure on Lewis again. He's missed 3 darts at a double. Now he really needs to take this 87 out. Will it be 20 ball or trouble? Well, it's ball. He needs the ball.
62. Michael required 20.
Right, double 10 for a 10 darter for Michael van Gerwen. Well, 11's not so shabby. 3-0 up, and already has a significant advantage. 2 breaks of throw. A.D. Lewis badly needs to get into this match, and very soon.
Yeah, he does. He's not particularly doing anything wrong. Well, that's a bad dart, obviously, but just that 3 darts in that first leg, because he's still averaging 104.5, 105. He missed the ball for a 12 darter there. Van Gerwen going out in 11 on his throw.
60.
That's the standard, isn't it?
No, Van Gerwen currently averaging over 113, 3 doubles out of 4. That's why he's the world number 1.
100.
Yeah,
fans are loving it, aren't they?
Oh, they love it here, yeah. It's been very loud, especially with Peter Wright winning, getting into the final. They were pleased with that one.
Scottish newspaper boys who are here will be pretty happy, and the radio commentator who's here. Good news up here for the sport.
Does it from Lewis? This could be a better one. Ooh, slip to the right.
81.
So chance here for Lewis.
Just to put some pressure on, big score here. Make that 127 a must get. 140 would be handy. Another treble would do. Yeah, that's good.
128.
Yeah, great darts there from Lewis. Van Gerwen, 127. Treble 19 now for the ball, can't do it. So Lewis
55.
missed 3 darts in the first leg.
56.
Let's see if he can find a double this time. There's the 16. Now then. That's more like it. A.D. Lewis is into the match.
Yeah, definitely needed that one, didn't he?
A break back.
I remember last year, 3 or 4 occasions they played each other in later stages of tournaments, and they're all absolute crackers. They really were.
A.D. last beat Michael van Gerwen in the Premier League earlier this year, 7-5.
54.
Before then, Van Gerwen had very much had the edge. Career terms, Van Gerwen very much ahead, 22-11 with 8-3 on television.
140.
But that is what's gone before, as they say. You can't change history, you can change what lies ahead.
There's 2, and there's 3. Yeah, there's the Van Gerwen grimace. He liked that one, so did the crowd. 3 maximums already. A.D. yet to hit one in this match.
123.
But he's making good numbers. He's averaging over 106 now. Good last dart.
137.
130, one of the nice finishes, if you will, because it gives you 2 darts at the treble 20. But Lewis, big 18 here to leave tops.
138.
Good visit.
Michael required 130.
So suddenly the 130 gains added significance. Let's see if he can close it out. Great first dart and a terrific second. And there's the double 5 for 130. And look at the expression on his face. You can see exactly what that means. And at the break, Van Gerwen has another break. He leads by 4 legs to off. Up even another notch. 3 maximums already, a 110 average.
57.
Now A.D. Lewis, can he hit back? An opportunity to jump on that 57. Well, both
59.
of them coming back from the break and just stuttering. Televised event, of course, always with a bit of prestige. Not a major, this one. The old major words. It's a bit overused, actually, isn't it, Alan?
Well, I think so. My view is
98.
not every TV event is a major. It can't be. It's impossible. It's just Jabberwocky.
Golf has its majors, and they remain unchanged. You'd like to see darts the same?
Well, maybe. It's unique. It's a different sport. People mention that. But just because it's on TV, it's not a major. It's a major
22.
event. Massive prize money, prestige you mentioned, but it's not a major per se, like a lot of sports have.
190.
It just can't happen. It's got to have this historical value, best players in the world, use world ranking seedings, all them things you can throw in the mix. Everybody'll have a different opinion. It's good to hear from the fans what their opinion is, and that's just mine.
Van Gerwen then, 51, tops. And there it is for 5-1. He's in awesome form this evening. Peter Wright will be watching on somewhere. Very much quieter sort of crowd reaction to the deafening volume and support that they gave Wright, and whoever wins this game is going to have to somehow cope when they get to the final.
Yeah, I'm sure they will do. Look at the averages there from both players. Not just Van Gerwen, who currently leads 5-1, but AD's playing pretty well. Let's be fair. He's just come against Van Gerwen train.
All he can try and do is just keep up those big numbers and hope that at some stage, as he surely must, well, you would think so, that Van Gerwen cannot quite sustain the level of brilliance that he's currently attaining.
Yeah, and that's the quandary, because he does it so often, doesn't he? He does maintain it for long periods. That's why he's world number 1.
58.
That's why he wins so many titles.
And put the Lewis throw under more pressure here.
140.
First to 11, remember. If he steals another one here, a 5-leg advantage, and it will look massive to A.D. Lewis. This is good, though. Oh, unlucky.
132.
Well, he left himself double top in a previous leg. Van Gerwen took out the 130. He's left himself 74 to get himself into the match, and ball! Almost another big finish from Van Gerwen.
I was bracing myself for a Wazza roar then. Double 16. Well done, well done. Had to make a slight adjustment and produce the requisite dart, 5-2.
Yeah, super dart there from Adrian Lewis. And that's not bad from Van Gerwen. He's 4th, 15th of the tournament, maintaining his high-octane scoring. But back comes Lewis.
139.
Van Gerwen makes it 4. That's just outside
99.
the treble. Shakes his head a little bit disconsolately.
Disappointed with that second one, wasn't he? Because there was all the bed to aim for. Just had to flick it under the first dart.
$121.
It was a glimmer of an opportunity for Lewis, and by that loose second dart, he's got another chance here, though. And again.
139.
Yeah, outside chance, but sometimes they're the only chances you get when you get a game like this. Double 16. Oh, there you go.
This is fabulous, Alan. He's playing absolutely brilliantly. Averaging now nearly 113. And A.D. Lewis is being hit by MVG in just prime form.
134.
Yeah, we've seen it so often for the last 2, 3, 4 years from Van Gerwen. He's producing his best against Adrian Lewis here in this second semi-final.
57.
pace at which AD plays the game kind of suits Michael, doesn't it? Because he's a quick player. It enables Michael van Gerwen to keep his own rhythm up. He sometimes struggles with the slow coaches.
Yeah, it can work against you as well, because all of a sudden the leg that you're trying to get back in can be over quicker than you think. These legs are fast and furious.
Being played at an eye-catching tempo.
78.
Brilliant numbers.
Yeah, Adrian Lewis, maybe just try and dig in and hold on to throw, and this is going to make it easier for him.
140.
And then maybe at some point have a shot
149.
of a big shot.
Well, if Van Gerwen
Against
takes
that.
this out, 149, not going to be though, so Lewis will come back. 104 now to hold his throw.
104.
Should be upstairs. That's blocked it a little bit. It's treble 16 possibly. No, he's staying upstairs. Yeah, good second dart. Double 12. Well, he composed himself to hit the double 16 previously, but not this time.
So Van Gerwen, can he take yet another leg against the throw? Going the bull route, he's got it for tops. Oh, that is just he is playing sublime darts, and all AD Lewis can do is look on and think, what have I got to do?
Well, it's almost as if they had a cutting tape. He walked up to the board, put them both in, and then walked back to the hockey. Just not missing.
And Lewis, is he starting to look just a touch shell-shocked? And is he starting to get a little bit down?
Well, as a player, when this is happening to you, you know you're playing okay, and Van Gerwen hits another maximum. You know you're playing okay, John, and you're trying your hardest to get back into the game, but it just seems impossible on occasions.
Unlucky with that last dart, just kissed off the barrel. 140 though, not so shabby. But Van Gerwen just continues peppering that treble.
The gravy train going well and truly.
Break at the end of this, Alan. Van Gerwen goes in 8-2 up, first to 11. Kind of almost looks as though he's home and hosed.
Yeah, you can never say never, as we say, but the way things are going, just Michael van Gerwen is either throwing at the double before 12 darts or leaving it. Incredible standard.
Well, here he comes again as Lewis hits the big score to put a bit of pressure on, but this is tops now for 8-2. Surely a good marker. This time, maybe. There it is. Keeping his double percentage right up there at 8 out of 12. He's averaging more than 110, and he is crushing AD Lewis, who's playing really well himself, but finds the score to Van Gerwen, 8 legs to 2. Brilliant. Couple of advert breaks of some 7.5 minutes, so the speed at which they've been playing, just incredible, and reflected in some just brilliant scoring.
Absolutely incredible in the sequence of darts. 13, 15, 11, 14, 12, 14, 15, 12, 14 and 15. So if you think you can play darts, watch this.
This is just stunning.
121.
Lewis again cursing his fortune as that looked as though it was heading for a 180 and just deflected out into the single.
100.
On a lot of those occasions as well, Adrian Lewis has left himself a double or a decent finish after 9 or 12 and not got a throw.
Well, Lewis missing the treble again. If Van Gerwen goes and hits a big number here, the throw once more under massive pressure. And you just know he's going to do it. You just know.
140.
Well, sometimes when you see darts of this calibre, you just have to take your hat off. Both players as well. Obviously Van Gerwen is playing at a different level than everybody else. That's why he's world number 1.
Can't find the finish this time off 161, but that's a good last dart. He's 12 darts down to 62.
Well, treble 20 will leave tops. Hasn't got there.
62 then. Van Gerwen to take yet another against the throw. Tops.
42.
Fallible. He can't believe it.
Chance for Lewis on throw. 20 for tops. 20 to aim for. Well done, Adrian.
Adrian Lewis. 12 body smuggling through the first. Game on.
8-3. Lewis winning with the throw. But now he's got to attack the Van Gerwen darts.
Yeah, just that 118 darter there. All the rest 15 or under. Incredible, really.
55.
Van Gerwen looking as though he's going to post the highest average of the tournament so far. Still close to 110. And only 3 more legs required from him.
115.
That's why he's the best player in the world. Darts like these. Well, you could have put another 10 in there.
What about that for grouping? The precision. 130th maximum of the tournament and his 6th of the match so far. Astonishing hand-to-eye coordination. Look at that.
Well, it's just monotonous, isn't it? Absolutely monotonous.
Another 12 darter. Almost metronomic brilliance.
100.
Atomic.
The crowd want to see Lewis make a match of this. He's doing his best.
43.
He is still trying. He's trying to hang in there.
Well, he's very experienced, Adrian Lewis, as we know. Twice world champion, back-to-back.
60.
And he has been playing pretty well recently. Playing pretty well tonight, but just not happening for him. When you're behind, it's sometimes despondent because you just can't seem to get your teeth into the match.
And you saw by his gesture after his previous visits, he knew it was an opportunity gone to really seize hold of this particular leg.
100.
Here comes Van Gerwen again. Oh, maximum number 7.
Well, sometimes you run out of adjectives. You really do. Back to back.
Running out of adjectives, running out of superlatives as well.
93.
Great last darts.
61.
Got to get this.
Is it the 16? Or 13 for double 16 maybe. 5 tops.
Game shown the 13 flag.
9-4. So he hangs on in for another, but still the margin remains at 5. And Van Gerwen with the darts, just 2 more needed now. Great start.
Well, just 3 visits needed for Van Gerwen to leave himself a finish. All the way through the match, but Lewis starting to hit the big numbers now. Is it too late? You would think so with the scoreline.
57.
It would be an astonishing comeback if he were able to fight his way back here. But it's a mood game. Annoyed that that one's slid out of the trebles. Look at that, the frustration as he beats the side of his leg.
Well, he knows it's not good enough in the sense of the way the match is prevailing. Again, he's left himself 130.
Did it treble 20, double 5 last time.
85.
So is he going to be able to do it again? Here we go.
Treble for bull. Not this time, may go for bull anyway.
47.
Lewis has a little sniff here to pull one back. Another treble would leave him double 8.
96.
He fancied that one, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Just couldn't quite get that second out underneath.
Ball!
41.
Good shouting, Alan, from our mercifully soundproofed box. Good shot. He's pulled one back against the throw, back to 9-5. Just keeping chipping away.
Well, he's 3-1 up since the break, so you've got to hold your hat up to Adrian Lewis. Oh, unlucky there with that one.
He's thinking he's got 60 on the floor there. Watch this. Oh, that's unlucky.
100.
Well, we're at a time in the match with Van Gerwen so close to winning it. Lewis is making a bit of a charge
96.
here. In his mind he's thinking, just take it leg by leg.
140.
Van Gerwen still his average close to 110 and leading by that 4-leg advantage.
60.
Looking for more there, Adrian. He's clawing his way back into the match.
97.
Could do without not hitting a treble. 2-2-5. He's got to watch it here, but that's a good first start. There you go for ball. Stay there, possibly. Yeah, staying up. Oh, what a great last start that, John.
Fabulous. Fabulous the way he squeezed that in. Now Van Gerwen, 164, no. So Lewis will get a chance to pull back another and get back to 9-6, 85 required when he comes back. Here we go.
104.
Well, 10 minutes ago he trailed 8-2. If he can take this out, he'll be down to 9-6. Double 5. Oh,
80. Michael requires 60.
Frustration for Jackpot.
Tops for 10-5. Just the wrong side, but this time the adjustment is good, and he is now within just one leg of victory. And at 10-5, Michael Van Gerwen is poised for victory. Just one more leg needed tonight. He's been brilliant, and a valiant comeback from A.D. Lewis. Looks as though it's going to be just too late. From the world #1, Michael Van Gerwen, leading by 10 legs to 5. Just one more required. He was brilliant earlier on, beating Raymond van Barneveld. Came from behind there against A.D. Lewis here. Well, he had just a terrific start. At one stage, 8-2. Lewis has clawed back a little, but with Van Gerwen averaging close to 109, he now needs just one more leg. And what a start after the interval.
Well, we mentioned that game against Barney was a terrific and magical match, but Michael Van Gerwen has raised the standard himself
58.
from that match to this one. Really is a magnificent performance by the man in green.
96.
Awesome can be an overused word, but it kind of seems appropriate for this.
And when you do see that with a player, John, you almost take your mind and your eyes off the other player who's played pretty well himself. But when you see somebody hitting everything like Michael Van Gerwen has, you almost miss the fact that Lewis has played well as well.
Well, he's left himself on the maximum possible checkout, 170. Lewis, meanwhile, pegging away effectively, and he also gets himself onto the same mark. What a way this would be to maybe win the match, but no.
Would have been a good way. Lewis has to do it to keep the match alive.
80.
So here comes Van Gerwen once more. 65 for victory. Tops now. double 10. And there it is. Tonight, just superb. He wins by 11 legs to 5. His average 108, and that was just awesome. How good, in your opinion, is he just throwing now? That is surely right up in vintage sort of area.
Well, that one was there, but he's doing it week in and week out. He's not just doing it on the TV stage and in the big events. He's doing it on the Pro Tour, on every game. We see so often 110, 150 in averages on the Pro Tour, not just in one game, but in 2, 3 or 4. So it's not a freak that he does it on the big TV stage like he's just done there against an absolute quality player in Adrian Lewis. He's doing it all the time.
Now, how well is he going to cope with the atmosphere in 20 minutes or so when he comes back and I said fight. He's going to have to play against Peter Wright, but with the Scottish crowd behind snake bites, it's perhaps going to feel like a bit of a fight.
Well, Mighty Mike will need some mighty big earmuffs, you would think. But I'm sure he'll be able to cope with a situation like that, but the crowd will definitely be on Peter Wright's side. We saw that against Phil Taylor. But the way he's playing, if he gets in front early, he'll just keep going and keep going. And Peter Wright, playing very well, will have to up his game.
Michael van Gerwen leaves the stage. A brilliant performance. He's beaten A.D. Lewis 11-5, and now we have snake bites versus van Gerwen as our final.